Have another project with my other AeroGarden, and today, as I was thinking how there's such a high content of water in cucumbers, and these gardens use a lot of water, of course. I was thinking, what's another crop I want to try? And one thing I always grow in my indoor garden and also outside is celery. And this is celery grown from celery bottoms from the store. This is inside one of my celeries in the indoor garden, but I do have some of these planted outside in this fashion. And then I have celery grown from seed also. You can see that they have a different kind of strategy of growth, and they will be growing differently, but today I thought that I'd give it a try and start growing some celery in the AeroGarden. So I am not sure how the celery will come out as far as like how much good stem and thicker stem it will give. But remember, celery is something we use for good flavor, for stir fries, and we could be using that in that fashion. Now, if you think about it, you can have a couple of stalks of the celery with the leaves, and you can chop and toss it in the stir fry and have that wonderful awesome flavor of celery without having to use celery salt, which is high in sodium. So besides, I would like to know what the AeroGarden does with this, because celery is another vegetable with about 85 to 95% water. So we're going to give it a try. So here in front of me I have some things prepared. So I have the kit that is for grow anything, so add your own. So this comes, as you've seen in my previous videos, the cucumbers that I'm growing also are my own seeds. They're also fairy moss seed, but it's the seeds that are not coming in the potted baskets already. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I do with this one. As usual, we have the basket, we have the growing sponges, and I am using this seed, like I said. This is the same one as my small celery plant that you saw. So now this is supposed to be the Utah tall, but you know what? From the pattern of what it's doing now, I think it will be okay. It's doing really good in my indoor garden. We'll see if it just stays at this height. It'll be perfectly fine. It's about 1 foot long. So one thing about celery that you need to know is I'm going to show you how small the seeds are. And this is what the seeds look like. And in order to make things more successful, and because the seeds are limited, I'm going to put some right here for you to see. They're just so small. Let's see if I got, there's some more in there. I want to show it to you what they actually look like. They're so small. So what I have to do is put them in this. It's like a slick surface, but it does have safety so they don't run out. And I'm going to just leave this here for myself. And before I can do the pods, I'm going to go ahead, pause this, and put the water in. And then we'll get back to the video. Okay, so here's the unit. I just plugged in, and immediately I'm going to put the water in. In fact, I think you should always put the water first and then plug it in. But I'm ready to go. So the unit has been cleaned. This is holding 1 gallon of water. So let's see if a gallon is what fills this up. So we're filling it up to the mark. I always use the funnel, and it makes things easier. So I'm putting halfway here. Now I'm going to pause because I'm going to go ahead and get my funnel and add the food and the rest of the water. Okay, so I'm using the same food that I'm using for the cucumbers. I want to finish this bottle, and I'm not going to open another one. So I've shaken this really good. Shake it some more. And what I like to do is put the food right here. And right off the start, the company recommends that we do that. So the whole thing means that you have to start by putting the water, adding the food, and that way you know that you are in your first week. And it makes things easier because then, you know, you can go ahead and have that week 2 and week 3 and all that going on. So right now I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the water and into the funnel. That way it will clean my funnel, and also make sure that all the food is in there. And there is the mark there, and as you know, we're going to fill to that spot. Okay, so there is like a little bit left. So it takes just almost a gallon of water. Okay, so we have put the water and we have put the food. Now we're going to work on the pots. Okay, so I have the medium ready, and these tiny little seeds are going to be very difficult, but I'm going to have to try. So I have 6 spots here, and I'm planning to put all 6. So I think we'll have enough if I put 2 per sponge. So the only way I can trust that I have it is by feeling the seed. I know I have the seed, and I'm going to put it in there. Now I know that I put it in there. I'll put one more. Again, I'm feeling the seed, and I'm putting it in there. So that's my first pod, making sure that it is secure. And then I'm going to get my basket. I'm going to place it in. That way it's nice in place. And keeping it upright, I'm going to put that in here. And then it's a little difficult because they're dry, and they'll go back. See, as you can see, they're starting to move. As the medium gets wet, it just knows to settle in. And I really don't need to write on all of these because I'm using the same one. These labels are really important. I really enjoyed using them. With the other stuff, they really work on blocking the light, and I had absolutely almost no algae growing. You will see some residue piling around the borders of this tray, and a lot of it is just the feed that has been crystallizing. So you will see a little bit of brown tint, and then you see a lot of white, and those are, like I said, a lot of residue. And there's some algae. There's a tiny amount of brown, greenish brown that could be algae, and when you're cleaning your garden, you can get rid of those. So in this fashion, I'm going to put all the pots, and this will constitute as day 1. So I'll let you know when they germinate, and we go from there. So one more thing, I just want to show you that all of them are being labeled, but I want to show you how the medium actually does go down as it soaks up. I don't know if you can see that, but as only about like a couple of seconds it takes for the medium to get soaked and just go down on its own. And of course, don't forget, once you have put all of this in place, put a little dome on each one so that the moisture would help and germinate your seeds. So nice little germination environment.